that west and northwest side is going to be difficult. You see the lower one behind the wall compound? Put it right in there. And then you guys can dismount those and come up to the airfield. Proper.
Ooh, I like those.
When you get up here, set your rallies. Alright, Bam, can we get that always out on? Thank you. No, it's not drop points yet. Let's drop rallies first. Yeah, you can turn off always now. And then Dentrick here.
Yeah, I got it.
Come here, Dentrick.
Oh, it's off.
Thank you. Dentrick, this trench right here. This is where the rest of your squad's gonna be. It's around this trench.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like right here, this one right there. as it curves back southwest. Each. And we'll go over the plan one more time. Acid will be up here. Dentric with a part of his squad will be on the AR mark. The other squad, the other halfie down there on the MRAPs as our southern security. Clay J obviously on the ones, and then Money Man, you're gonna be spread out along that trench line looking west, and on the maybe a couple guys on the east-west trench. Clay J, I would also have a couple guys, yeah, right there in that fork. That north side is tricky, for sure. Any questions?
Yeah. I think we're gonna get what, 2 squad ledgerants?
Yeah, I think we got that many last time. As long as I can get at least one run in with ammo, I'll be fine. Before I let you guys start sorting out kits.
Alright, it's top of the hour, guys. Means it is time for another Squad Ops One Life event. It is Saturday, session 1 time. I am your commentator for this evening's Shadowed Ritual, and tonight we bring to you Operation Open Road. It is a pretty old op, over a little more than 2 years old, I think. It was created, when was this created? December 28th, 2016, and it was actually one of Hammering Hutch's operations. For those of you who don't know, Hammering Hutch was the original op
like
designer
southwest
before
and
Xbit
direct
took over
north.
his position.
And
Yeah, we still play a lot of his ops. Fox Hard, Open Road. There's like he has a good, you know, 15 ops, 15, 20 ops that he's created or has had a hand in creating. And we still play them, and they are a lot of fun. So at its core, this is a defense operation. The U.S. are tasked with holding airfield. But before I go into more details on their loadouts and what exactly they have to do and reading the situation, let's go over who is participating in this op leadership-wise and who will be commanding everybody. So for the U.S., we have platoon lead Dorf with his squad leads Mr. Moneyman, Dentrick, Acid, and Kleje. For the Russians, we have platoon lead Karmakut with his squad leads Storm, Bump, the Alpha Guido, and Evan SMA. So platoon lead wise is actually very, very even. Karma and Dwarf have a lot of ops under their belt, and they're both very competent squad leaders, or sorry, platoon leaders. So it should be a really even match there. I'm really excited to see how this operation turns out. I do believe the last time we ran Open Road, they both played each other. But I don't remember the outcome, so we'll see what happens this time. Squad lead wise, it's also fairly even. A lot of pretty consistent squad leads. They got Acid, Alpha Guido, Bump, yeah, a lot of pretty consistent squad leads, and should be even on all fronts. I'd say leadership wise, it's going to come down to these individual players and possibly even the fire team leads. So how's it going, Red? How's it going, Braden? How's it going, everybody who's just joining us? This is a Squad Ops 1 Life event, and let's go over the operation, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and bring up the map very quickly. It's not a very difficult map to understand. U.S. are holding airfield. It is just the airfield outlined in blue. U.S. are tasked with holding that, specifically the radio on said airfield, which is in this little bunker area here. Dwarf is my favorite command, and British is my favorite team. Oh yeah, Dwarf is a very, very good command. I love I love it when Dwarf commands. He's very solid, and he always has good plans. He's very good at adapting. He's all around a pretty solid command. So the U.S. are tasked with defending that radio and airfield as a whole. The Russians are tasked with assaulting airfield. Let me go ahead and read the situation so you get a little bit more understanding about the mindset that these players are going in to this operation with. U.S. forces situation reads as: Russian forces are pressing hard to gain key locations in the Yeho-Rivka area. Your platoon has been given a huge task of holding the airfield. Engineers have dug some quick trenches to help hold it, but don't expect reinforcements. Do, however, expect some aggressive Russian mechanized forces soon. Russian forces situation reads as... Oh, well, sorry, let me explain the U.S. forces. So, U.S. forces, it's a platoon tasked with holding a key airfield in the Yeho-Rivka area. I don't know why the U.S. Army would only send one platoon to hold an airfield, but that's what they decided to do. One platoon to hold an airfield, they dug some trenches for them, but they're not going to be able to reinforce them, and you should expect some mechanized forces from the Russians in the area soon. Russian forces, Russian situation reads as: Our forces are making fast advances throughout the division's area of operations, except in the Yeho-Rivka area. Stubborn U.S. forces are holding on to any key locations and terrain they can to slow our advance. Your platoon's mission is to assault and secure the airfield. So, the U.S. are tasked with assaulting the airfield. That's as simple as it gets. Russians need this airfield, and they're gonna assault. Does Dwarf always win when he is command? Dwarf doesn't always win when he is command. He's got a pretty good, I guess, win rate, but we don't really keep track of it. Like, in operations, it's not really about winning or losing. It's more about just the experience, and as long as everybody's having a good time, even on the losing side, you can have a good time. So as long as people are having fun, we're happy. But Dwarf is a pretty solid, and he has a pretty solid win rate. So assets that the platoons will get to sort of hold their objectives are U.S. assets. Per squad, 1 SL, 2 FTLs, 2 automatic riflemen, and 1 medic per squad. The platoon lead, the platoon armory, which the platoon lead can deal out as he sees fit, is 4 light anti-tank kits and 1 heavy anti-tank kit. Those are going to be huge. Once I go over the Russian assets, you will know. But those 4 light anti-tank kits and 1 heavy anti-tank kit are going to be
We can fit right here.
Vehicles, they get 2 MRAP open tops that are going to be on the south, and 2 logistic trucks, which they will be doing logi runs with.
Yeah.
I will go over, for their fob, they get 1 mortar, 1 tow, which is going to be huge, and various defensive structures. I will go over Russian assets as soon as Dwarf is done with his platoon brief. Looks like he's lining his guys up for a platoon brief.
Spawn in once you...
Oh no, he's getting them lined up. So Russian assets include per squad 1 squad lead, 2 fire team leads, 2 automatic riflemen, 1 RPG-26, which I believe is the law, and 1 medic per squad. No platoon armory, so what they get there for the squad is what they get. Vehicles. This is why the anti-tank kits and the tows are going to be so huge. They get 1 BTR-80 and 2 MTLB NSVTs. And I will show you the area and how devastating these can be, especially with how Dwarf plans on holding it. But those vehicles are going to be huge in this assault onto the airfield.
Fine.
Looks like guys are just getting in here. Yeah, spawning in, moving in. Yeah. You'll understand Dwarf's plan. He's essentially going to try and hold the trench part of the airfield. When is there going to be helicopters? Whenever the squad ops, or not the squad ops mod, but the SDK and the squad mod
on squad 4
in general, squad mod gets fixed. That way we can play it in V12.
We also have only 4 minutes left.
I know, that's why everyone needs to hurry up.
You guys lined up, getting these guys spawned in.
Welcome, Dad.
Should have a platoon move here relatively soon. Am I really high?
I'll just start it at last kind of.
Alright, I'll get this started now. Let's fucking welcome to Operation Open Road. Our mission is to defend this airfield and our radio here right behind me in the tent. Doing so, we have Acid Panelones defending the northeast quarter, the buildings, the trenches up here. Dentrick and part of his squad will be on the AR mark. The rest of Dentrick's squad will be down on the southeast end of the airfield with the MRAPs, gunners in each, and then the buddy team outside in the trenches acting as local security, an extra set of eyes. The fob mark itself will be Mr. Moneyman's squad, lined up the northwest or the north-south trench line looking west. And then the squad 1 marks, as you see them, will be Clay J squad, covering the northwest sector and the north entrance to the airfield. I myself will be right here in this pit. I will have a tow missile, and I will have a mortar set up around here. So if all else fails, fall back to this point. We'll have the tow missile up. Enemies expected to hit us with some heavy armor. So lats, hats, and whoever gets to the tow missile, you guys are going to be super fucking important. So make your shots count. We've got 2.5 minutes. Are there any questions? I'll take 2 questions.
Where are we falling back, sir?
Right here. This is final defense location. Right here.
The camp you're standing on?
Yes. Any other questions?
Cool.
More. All right. Let's go to your spots. Good luck. Get some.
All right. Live should be in about 2 minutes.
All right, chain of command is
Skelly, you're just about to catch it.
Then
So,
Clay J.
Dwarf is going to do for a hard hold on the airfield proper. He's not going to send out mini scouts. He's not going to send out his MRAPs to act as a scouting force or anything. He's just going to hard hold airfield using the trench system to his advantage. That means his lats have to deal with these BTRs, have to deal with the NTLBs, because if you get a BTR on one end of these trenches, it basically means this entire line, even if it does zigzag, is inaccessible. It would be just brutal to try and move through these trenches if a BTR or if any vehicle just gets looking down it. It's just gonna make it a slog, and yeah. Definitely need to deal with those vehicles, and it should be pretty.
Found a good spot, Sam.
It's gonna be difficult to destroy those BTRs with the kits they have. The tow's gonna have to do a lot of work. The way he's using his MRAPs is not.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, it's not different, but it's not bad. It's not great. It's pretty neutral, I guess. He's sort of using them as neutral emplacements. hardened up in these compounds. He's not going to maneuver them much at all. We'll see if he decides to at all at any point during the op. But for the most part, he wants to keep them here and just lock down large areas with these MRAPs. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to hear them fire because of an admin cam bug where you can't hear the 50 cal fire. But I told Zentric to tell his guys to make pew pew noises, so we might be able to catch some of that fire, and we'll see if they follow through with it. Karma Cut's plan, I sort of caught a brief like glimpse of it with markers. I believe it's going to come in from the southwest. This op is pretty old, so a lot has been done, and we are live. All right, looks like the Russians will be moving up. Dwarf setting seems like the old open road setting. Yeah, I could agree with that. With before the trenches and everything. The thing is, the old open road setting used to harden up, like in these buildings here, and there used to be a building across the street that you would harden up in. Without that building, though, it makes these less not as good.
Are we allowed to place things after you put down the mortar and?
Yeah, you're good to place it now.
Yeah.
I'm putting down
Looks
razor
like
wire to cover the road, and then I'm gonna block off these eastern entrances.
Yeah, you do what you need over there, Acid. You're probably the most important one.
We've got to build. He's just sort of locking down the road, denying areas of advancement for the BTRs and whatnot, which I believe can actually roll through barbed wire. It'd have to be like sandbags, wouldn't it? So it's possibly just for infantry. I like these positions in the trench line over here on the west from Clay J's. Gives him good little sightlines. This thing is, it's so dangerous in the trenches. It's great for infantry and great for maneuvering, but these vehicles, if they get pinned down by these vehicles, they are fucked. It could be very, very deadly for them.
We are very separated.
But as I was saying, this op is a pretty old op, so a lot has been done. So you sort of know which directions are the ones that work for airfield. And all of them are pretty viable. The west southwest is probably like the most viable because you've got these trench lines. You got a trench line here that moves up from the direct west. You got a trench line there that moves up from the southwest, and you can stay pretty far away without being heard. The east is also another option because you can get in using the trench line, and possibly even now that they've extended it a little bit, you can definitely use the east side. And I've seen them come and try and cut off supplies, so that's why they would come east. South is also okay because it allows you to get this foothold in the area where the MRAPs are. The only one, the least viable approach, in my opinion, is the north. The north, it has a lot of open ground to cover. You have a lot of good sightlines looking north, or you used to have a lot of good sightlines looking north. But I assume, yeah, you still have a lot of good sightlines looking north. And so this is probably the least viable position, but it has also still been done.
It's same.
Yeah.
Door for my guys.
Would an AC-130 ever come in the game, like around V9? The AC-130 may come back. I'm not sure if in vanilla games, but maybe. I don't know. I know Pony was playing around with it in the SDK, so I can't say if it's going to come back or not. It was in the SDK for the longest time, and he was playing around with it and keeping it added in, just to sort of see what it was all about and get used to it. Can you set up an artillery station in this game? If so, they get pinned down. They could just blow them up with the artillery. Yeah, they have mortars. Mortars is the only kind of artillery we have, or indirect fire, I should say. Lots of sandbags here that need to be dug. Just making it as safe as possible for them to move through the trenches. Nice call. There's the mortar. It's a 120 millimeter mortar. So it's pretty good. About 1,200 meter range. I think it's like 14 to 1,600 meter range.
Oh, they're doing good. They're just waiting. The MRAP, just leave it there unless if anything happens.
New map changed a lot in this op. I agree, Frederick. How's it going? The new trenches add a lot of maneuverability for holding the airfield proper. It used to be when you held the airfield, it was these hangars in the southwest, these like I guess it's like a storage area or a garbage area to the south, and then there were buildings on the northeast. Those were basically the only really good place to hold up, and now it's opened up the airfield a lot and has allowed them to spread out so much more. Look at the spread that the U.S. have. It's completely lining the airfield, except there's probably a hole right here. I'd like to see them maybe push a scout out, maybe Omar and Groot push out southwest, but I can understand they want to stick very close to their MRAPs in case they need to maneuver them. it's going to be up to Mr. Moneyman and his squad to spot west, because as you see on the map, we've got a BTR booking it south with with command and squad 2 trying to get into position. We've got 2 MTOBs with squads 3 and squads 4, and you've got a Logi with squads 1 moving in towards the north. These MTOBs are most possibly moving in from the southwest. They don't get a fob. Yeah, they don't get a fob, so the Logi is just going to be for rearming and resupplying infantry. And yeah, they're going to dismount there, and they're going to push in from the southwest. Not a bad idea, I guess. Maybe a distracting force, keeping guys up to the northwest, because if you want to go fly over to them, wherever they may be, they've got some pretty low ground to crawl through, and it's going to allow them to stay pretty hidden for the most part. With how far they stopped, there's no way that they heard this vehicle. 81mm pain? Really? I thought it was 120mm mortar. Maybe I'm just playing too much field division. Yeah, it looks like they're just waiting. They got to their position very quickly, and they don't want to move before these MRAPs get there. Because if they move, they push in, they come into contact, they die, it would be all for naught because there's so much of the platoon so far back.
Acid, do you think you could get one more Logi run in?
Yeah, we're gonna try.
Okay. Or we can always limit it to just
BTR is
one
probably
truck.
over there. It looks like, yeah, it's going to hold at the quarry area just to make sure these MTLBs catch up.
Honestly,
Let's go
if we're
watch
gonna
them move.
Logi, I'd rather just try to go all for it.
Slow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's okay. That works for me.
Not a lot going back down at the airfield, just them building it up. We can listen into the comms and you get a general idea. They're just going to do some Logi runs, trying to get as many supplies in as they can. Why they're stopped here? Possibly to get somebody who died, not died, but didn't spawn in. Are they gonna walk from here? There's no way they're gonna walk from here. Yeah, just transport for inches. Yeah, right, Miss User. Make the damage for the mortar the same as an aid. Wouldn't that be making it smaller? I'm pretty sure the mortar explosion radius is actually pretty big.
Oh god, all that ammo makes me so happy. Just do half from
Okay,
now
just
on.
waiting here, staying hidden. He actually dismounted a squad, a full squad? No, it's just a, yeah, it's a full squad here. No, yeah, it's about a full squad. They have those drivers and gunners in the front, but it's just scouting out, pushing forward a little bit, seeing what eyes he can get. I wonder how far he's willing to go away from his platoon, because he's very far out on his own. And continue to push east. He's possibly moving to start his push. MTLB's so far back still. I wonder why they haven't moved. Possibly waiting for orders to figure out which direction they want to go.
They have a lot of cover.
They're just on guard, watching their sectors.
You guys that have the sandbags?
Stig would be the one who spots this, maybe Warrior.
Earlier and took it
Clay,
out,
you got anything yet?
thinking that I could bring it back to my
Negative.
inventory, but I couldn't.
Money man,
What's up? Say it again.
you got anything on your end?
Negative.
Doing his best to spot anything on the west.
I will back here for you when you, in case you need it.
Dentrick, your boys, anything?
Negative.
There's a point in looking north.
Actually, south might be where they come from.
Yeah.
I'll look south. You can post up in that ditch.
Being in the ditch, I get to
Because
look
you're not able
southwest
to
from the
look
ditch.
south, are you, Groot?
No, not Mets.
Okay.
I like the good local comms. Just Quick Scratch and everybody else here. Quick Scratch, Omar, RP, Groot. Just trying to find good areas to sort of watch from and keep an eye out. I love it. When you got good local comms, you just sort of feel that you're gonna have good squad comms, and I've already been pretty happy with the command comms. Dwarf is asked for
my guide was done.
Asked for updates a couple times. Been necessary information coming through the pipe where it needs to be.
Say again.
Are my guys almost done?
Did flashbangs come in?
Yeah, they have,
flashbangs be in the game? I'm not sure if flashbangs should be in the game. I mean, I wouldn't hate flashbangs for being in the game, but I don't think flashbangs are necessary for the game. Definitely could be modded in. Maps look different now displaying. Yeah, they added all these like cami nuts and shit like that. They even added in
buddy team in the
like
south can
oil barrels and water barrels and ammo containers in the back, and they even have if you look here, there's like bullet casings and stuff. Yeah.
Just like get on the edge of the fence, looking southwest.
They added a lot. All right, let's check out Russian movement. Looks like Squad 1 has moved in from the northwest. Squad 2 has moved in from the southwest. MRAPs have picked it up, and they're finally moving to rehook up with the BTR. Probably another 5 to 6 minutes of maneuvering from the Russians as they prepare to assault. Alpha Guiden getting his guys very, very close. Nobody's going to spot this as they move. And this is the only problem I have with not maybe using his MRAPs as scout, or not sending out any scouts in general, is just that when he comes into contact, it is going to be at his line. At his main line is where he's going to come into contact with, and it's not going to allow him to maneuver guys. Once these guys come into contact, they're really not going to be able to move up and down the line as freely as they were. Whereas if maybe these MRAPs were like posted out in little OPs, just a little bit, they don't even, like, you don't need to go 2-3 grid squares out, but just like maybe 200, 300 meters out with the vehicle, you have the opportunity to maybe spot something and then pull back.
So when your trucks
Use
get
them
back
as, like,
here, then
quick QRF
that'll be
scouts.
it. We won't have to do any more lodge runs.
Yeah, I already told them that too.
Are we gonna leave ammo in the lodges or no?
What?
I can tell my guys leave 500 ammo in each lodge.
Yeah.
That works.
Tried to push out a little bit, see if there's any good position. There's really not. Trying to get a good position to look south. You saw him. He was over there looking for a good position to look south. This is what he has to settle with. Not the best, but I'd like to see him get there with a buddy.
Yeah, where you guys are now, Centric, good spot for them.
Yeah. Yeah, hook up with Omar over there. That's good.
Do we have an RE?
Not a time. I just kind of identified
Omar's
contact.
just chilling here with his.
Contact southwest.
They spotted him.
Contact southwest, Roger.
Bearing.
Spotted Alpha Guido.
My guy said he saw someone
Bearing,
crawling through
Omar.
the bush. Can
220.
Give me a grid.
you give me a grid too?
Comms.
H1423 is the grid.
I think the only reason, Frederick, I tried to send him out on patrol too. I think the only reason he hasn't sent him out on patrol is because 9 times out of 10, the way this op plays out, if you send your MRAPs out to sort of scout, they get wrecked by the BTRs. The BTRs, the MTLBs, just destroy.
I was pretty sure I saw something fucking crawling.
It's just that kind of.
So you gotta have very like on cruise.
So
on
you see how
top
there's
of
the
it.
little valley? The bushes on the left side.
Look, they see a BTR. BTR just pulled up. I don't think he spotted. He spotted it. He spotted it. Or he's
Give
gonna move.
me a guy over here on the toe.
Roger.
Roger, BTR southwest.
MTL moving east too.
Yep, they're
Good
coming
spot.
from the
Good
south.
information coming through from
South and
Omar.
southwest.
Mortars out. Wow, so close to enemy positions. Push that out a little bit and start shifting it left. So close to enemy position.
Was that good mortar smash? How?
Mortars frag out? What was that? What was that?
He's gonna send you a new gun. Right.
Oh no.
Because they move.
Quick scratch. Oh no. He's so dead. He's got his mortar. He's got his lat out. Got his lat out. Quick scratch. You got this.
576 on the road.
Shooting at Omar. Gun's looking at Omar. Don't do a quick scratch. Not in the front. It's just gonna bounce it. Oh, he hit it in the underside. Nice. Quick scratch gets a shot. Oh no, it's dead. It's the. That's the MRAPs. The MRAPs just fucked up those BTR. Wow.
Really? Nice.
Scruffy, and Groot there. Listen to that. You didn't hear the pew pew. Wow, great shots on the MRAP. Good crossfire. That's Karma Cut down. Karma Cut is down. He was commanding that vehicle. He wasn't like he was expecting to stay in that vehicle the entire time. Looks like he had Atomic Peach with him as well. Great shots.
Or northwest. Copy.
What a hero! I don't think it was Quickshot who did it, because the MRAP or the BTR bounces shots to the front, bounces these lots to the front almost all the time. Looks like the Russians do have a foothold in the southwest portion of the airfield. Looks like they got a whole squad in here. Omar has gone down. Yeah, it looks like Omar had gone down. MRAP's gonna start fire, just peppering. You just see the racers and stuff knocking up dirt, but for the most part you're not going to hear it. Yeah, you can't see it. Fran, see where these mortars land. Yeah, great positioning on these BTRs, or sorry, these MRAPs. Bad on the mortars.
Are those good?
Not bad at all. Defending team has a tow. Yes, Assault. Defending team has a tow. Yeah, I wish they'd fix the audio bug with the admin cam too, usually. It sucks that I can't hear the 50 cal firing, because those 50 cals did work. The tow kill the armor? No, the tow didn't kill the armor. It was definitely the combined fire from the MRAP. Or from the two MRAPs. Jack's shooting at quick scratch over there. Mortars landing very, very close on top. Wow, look more. Another squad has moved in.
MTLB coming on the top.
Is he breaching?
It's like it's on top of them almost. Great use of the mortars so far. Yeah, it was the combined might of these two MRAPs firing. Because their health, the health didn't go down instantly. It was slowly went down, and that was definitely from Groot and Scruffy Sweet over here. Groot trying to look south, looking for they hear the MTLB.
Ported squad size, hold for grid.
Look, you can see it shooting. You can even hear the bullet casings like falling on the ground.
4 has contact in the closest hangar to our south.
Scruffy, are you able to shoot south?
4 has contact immediate south hangars.
South, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, William.
Careful with the hangars.
They might see him. Yeah, he does. Look at him starting to light up that MRAP or that MTLB. Oh no, he's got to reload. The other MTLB or the other MRAP cannot see the MTLB.
My guys.
BEH High and Aethel trying to push up on one area, William FBD and Brando pushing on another. They still do not know where these MRAPs are. Groot is looking. William sees one MRAP may be going down. Groot is taken out. Groot is shooting at the other MTLB. MTLB goes down, yeah. Both MRAPs are down. MTLBs are very hurt. Mortars, pretty solid, but these guys are continuing to be aggressive. Let's watch this tow. Let's see this tow. No way they're gonna see this. No way. This is a god shot from Ashley if he can do this. It's through a fence. No way. Nice try.
He's under the hill. Southwest. Southeast, correction. South.
infantry pushing up on the southwest.
MTLB's pushing from my
Watch
side.
this push. Looks like Stig, Captain Knob, Warrior, and Mr. Moneyman. The only thing that lies between the Russians and their entry into these trenches in frag range, and all clustered up in this building. Light this building up, yo. It's a wooden building. This is 6 people on this one building. Another toe out. Looks like Quick Scratch tried to get in a shot, I think. Quick Scratch goes down. But now that William FPD and Brando are in the fence line, this toe is going to be a lot more deadly. As I say that, toe lands right in its face. MTLB is down. Another MTLB with Big HI and Aethel has a is very, very hurt. I don't know if this is in line to see.
I'm reloading.
I-1438. I-1438.
They're not gonna take enough to try and fall. Oh, they're gonna. He has eyes on. All right, acid. Let's go 3 for 3.
Down.
Vehicles are down. This toe just wrecked the entire mechanized portion of the Russian platoon. Wow, 2 toes took out 2 or it was like it was 3 toes, maybe 4 toes for the MTOBs, and then it was a lad and 2 MRAPs for the BTR. That's a solid trade. Update on kills: 10 kills for the US, 5 kills for the Russians. Still very, very close, but the upper hand lies with the US. They have mortars. They have the advantage of defending the trenches, and these Russians have a lot of open ground they need to start covering. Looks like Jacko 800 and Dub's going to start trying to push. Jack's trying to push. Stig and friends are going to start trying to fall back. I wonder who's in command here. Let's get an update on who's alive command-wise for the Russians. They do not have their command anymore. That's a squad lead. Original squad lead. Original squad lead. Down. So they've still got most of their original squad leads.
Roger, you're gonna drop down on the tower.
And I believe they still have their 2 IC.
India 1474.
Who's commanding the attacking team? It's Karmacut, who was commanding the attacking team assault. But Karmacut went down in the first BTR. I think he was like the 3rd or 4th kill for the Russians. 3rd or 4th death for the Russians.
Exact rate of enemy is I-1477.
Keep up the fire. If you're going to suppress, you got to keep up the suppression. And then go. Get in there. We're Airborne Godzilla trying to push in now. Jacko 800 goes down to, looks like a Warface. Good mortars.
Good mortars. Very good mortars.
Warren and Godzilla are going to have to try and push up. Be aggressive. They need to push in. They need to stay underneath these mortars and make it too dangerous for them to use. Or if not, they're just going to get torn apart. We're Warren and Godzilla just trying to push.
There's 4 guys laying down.
They're in frag range now, right?
We confirm all vehicles are down.
Enemy northeast. Enemy northeast.
Yes, all vehicles are down. I repeat, all vehicles are down.
Enemy northeast. Look at squad 1.
Roger.
Squad 1's pushed in. Can they do it? We got Baku, Silas, Todd Colville, and Mr. Coleman here pushing in. Sam, Cardboard, Zeke, and Silent, all that stands between them. Can they keep this aggression up? Can they keep this multi-front aggression up? Force some orders to sort of decide who he needs to support more. Looks like Baku goes down to a grenade. Silas tosses a grenade, takes out Silent. Looks like no, takes out Zeke. Silent is bleeding though.
I'm aware, Dentrick. I've been hitting it. 2, do you need orders up where you are?
They're trying to pull back off this. This may be the opening that Silas and Todd need here.
South of 4. In the trenches past range.
AT and AR wins the trench. Yeah. AR is definitely winning the trench. AT, I guess, yeah, taking out those MTLBs were huge. But definitely those automatic rifles are going to lock down these trenches.
Well, if both the vehicles are down, I'm not going to hesitate to use the
Godfrag wins the trench. Yeah, with how close up there. Silas pushing into the building.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not there. Okay, I thought they were in the building. Todd?
There.
Woo! I don't know. Silas going to try and push. He isn't good. Silas is going to get domed.
I'm worried about them.
Silas takes out Brandon Reno, goes down.
Hey, we're in CQB northeast. We're in CQB.
Roger 2.
One's lost 1. One is lost 1.
CQB is yeah, they're in CQB on there. They've only got 3 left to 3 remaining to on that assault. They've got their foothold here. Oh my god, shift those mortars just a little bit. Oh, 3 down with that mortar. Godzilla, Cat Plays, and Storm go down to the same mortar. These guys, 1 mortar takes out all of these guys.
Strong are you?
Holy shit. Spread out, guys. Spread out. I'm ready for a mortar to land on their face. Alpha trying to suppress from the upper buildings. You see him shooting at Mr. Moneyman and Warface.
How many people do you have left?
The last 2 guys, one
Yeah.
came.
You got Alpha Guido in this building to the right, and then you got infantry crawling through those trenches on the left. Oh, mortar takes out 2. Gonna take out Hero as well. I think he's gonna bleed out. Yeah, Hamdog Deathstalker go down to a mortar. Alpha Guido gets shot. Hero's gonna ban. Nope, Hero goes down to a mortar. Oh my god. Mortars. Let's see what Dwarf is at. Dwarf is at 7 kills with those mortars.
It's been quiet for a few seconds, sir.
Roger.
Just starting, 8352. We are nearing the mid-game of this operation, I'd say. Engagements already happened. We got 25 kills for the US, 10 kills for the Russians. Actually, it looks like we're nearing the end game as we're down to 4 already for the Russians. Just having a lot of trouble after they lost their initial vehicles. And just getting this foothold in these trenches and managing to, it's just been a slog. It's been so bad for the mortar. Actually, no, I lied. There's 4 here. There's a full squad on the west, which has been spotted. By Lima Bean. Oh no. This is deadly here, Lima Bean. If he can get back on his AR.
They're smoking right to our west.
Keep eyes on these guys to the south. Looks like they're gonna go down. Yeah, Alpha Guido's dead. It's Code John, all that's left over there. It looks like Dubs has gone down as well. And then it's these guys here on the west. Look at Lima Bean. Set up, just spraying the... Oh no. Oh no, it's a turkey shoot for him. It's a turkey shoot. Lima Bean. Oh no. He just cut them down.
Reload.
Just indiscriminately. Oh wow. Only 1 kill for that? Really? I'd look like so many of those guys went down in that engagement. Good mortars. Good mortars! Oh, Jesus, Dwarf. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? You were just hurting them. You never sit still when Dwarf is running mortars. Never. Strangelove goes down. Big Boy Swaggin goes down. Kneeholes is very, very hurt. Vindication is looking good. But, at the last 2, I believe. How are they going to do this? Looks like Kneeholes has to go down. It is just down to Vindication. MG Blessing, right? Lima Bean just cutting them down, making sure they can't move. It's not even just Lima Bean. Look at that's AR fire coming from the north from Bybee and Zabari maybe. Yeah, Zabari's on a rifle, Bybee's on his AR. Like like a very, very solid crossfire coming in from them. They see Vindication. They see Vindication. 100%.
Roger, north 50 meters.
Can you pick up the healed in a 1 life event? No, you cannot pick up the healed in a 1 life event right now. Right now, what happens when you go down? You are out. You can, however, what's the word? If you can bandage, the medic can heal you to full. US is just going to continue to lay fire down on the west. Looks like they're not sure if there's anybody left. Looks like everybody has gone down.
Sebi, you need support.
Run Vin one. Vin has died. Looks like he tried to toss a grenade, hit a tree.
Range they haven't pushed in yet. You're watching the north.
I think that is it. Where are the rest? Oh no. Got one here on the north.
Stand by for a second, but
one more guy here on the north. Stalker.
As of right
and
now,
he's spotted.
X out to me. So I'm supposed to.
This is such a difficult assault for the Russians. What did they do wrong? What did they do wrong? Pushed in vehicles without infantry support. Boom. Frederick, yes, suicide by Vindication looks like. That's where they went wrong. Well, it's not everything. It's everything. Once the first problem happened, everything just starts to compound on itself. Like once they lost those vehicles, that That's their fire support right there. They have no indirect fire or anything like that. Like, that is what they need to push in.
They're in the trench to the north.
But they pushed in the BTR, no infantry ahead of it to clear out the people, or to even spot those MRAPs, because if they had spotted those MRAPs beforehand, I mean, you saw how quickly the MTLBs dealt with the MRAPs. The MTLBs were not a problem, and it's just the fact that they didn't spot them in time. And then, it was like quick scratch, and then the combination of the two MRAPs just melted that BTR. And then, yeah, Karma rushing in with the BTR. That's exactly it. And then everything just starts to compound on itself, because as soon as the BTR goes down, Command goes down. As soon as Command goes down, it brings it up to the 2IC, and then they lose the MTLBs. The 2IC starts to freak. He's starting to just be aggressive to try and push these guys and continue to be aggressive. And eventually they get clumped up at their most forward point, and they get mortared. You know, it's one mistake leads to another, and it just starts to trickle, and then before you know it's waterfall damage. But it all came down to just not having infantry support. I feel, in my opinion,
oh my god,
9 kills, 10 kills.
I didn't realize that was
with the
last night.
mortars
Just peeked the corner and shot him right in the head.
That was just brutal.
Acid,
of the mortars.
I told you.
Acid got all those MTLBs. Sabari and Bybee got a lot of kills. This is all these guys were on the west flank. West. Boogeyman was on the west. Liber Pundit or Warface was on the south, near the southwest, near the hangars. So it was in that push. They didn't even need to fall back. Very, very solid hold from the U.S. We're going to go ahead and swap sides. Very quick match. We're going to go ahead and swap sides, and we're going to see how Karmacut does on his hold of airfield while we push Dwarf to assault. Gonna go ahead and get set up really quickly. Those mortars were just brutal. Alright, join. There goes. Yeah, that was pretty fast. Yep, that was indeed pretty fast. I don't know what's going on here with the squad numbers. Totally gonna confuse me.
West and Stormy on south. Or Stormy on south. And what's going on here?
I think you're
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Scunyon, could you?
Yeah, Scunyon, leave your squad because just make your squad after command squad, okay? So we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I mean, I already got my whole squad in squad 6 right now.
Alright, that's fine. Fuck it. Okay. 1 on the north, 2 on the west, 6 on the south.
I can load in that fast. The only game that loads in this fast. That's the only game I have on my SSD. Everything else is on my hard drive. So unfortunate.
Who's got good mortarmen?
The people who made squad should have like a water and land combined map. Huh. We actually have done. We did a campaign. What was it, Labor Day? Or Labor Day weekend? We did a campaign where we had an amphibious assault where we modded into where the strikers could float, and they actually had to come in from the water and they had to assault a beach. And it was really, really intense. Yeah, Frederick, let's see how Karma will defend.
Admin unlock kits.
Does anyone want be a patrol element?
Karma's gonna keep a patrol element, I like that. So, let's go over, before I go over this operation and its details, sorry, start from the beginning. This operation at its core is a defense operation. The U.S. are defending airfield. But before I go into more detail reading the situation and their assets, let's see who is leading this platoon command-wise. So, for the U.S. side, we have platoon lead Karmacut, with his squad leads Yalpha Guido, Bump, Evan SMA, and Storm.
What supplies?
For the Russian team, we have platoon lead Dwarf, with his squad leads Dentrick, Mr. Moneyman, PlayJ, and Acid. So again, very even squad leads, very even platoon leads. Unfortunately, the Karma had gone down so early. We really didn't get to see his full leading abilities on that assault because Karma is very. He's pretty quality at assaulting airfield. It's just unfortunate that he wasn't able to be there to finish off that final push. So this operation.
The hat.
Looks like they're gonna go ahead and move in a couple seconds. This operation.
And then Evan, you're getting.
Let's go ahead and read the situation as I fly over.
And Guido getting 2 lost. Copy.
U.S. forces situation reads as Russian forces are pressing hard to gain key locations in the Yeho-Rivka area. Your platoon has been given the huge task of holding the airfield. Engineers have dug some quick trenches to help hold it, but don't expect reinforcements. However, do expect some aggressive Russian mechanized forces in the area. So, U.S. are tasked with holding. They send a platoon to hold the airfield, and they're not going to be able to reinforce them. You've got a couple trenches built by the engineers, but no reinforcements. There's a Russian mechanized platoon in the area they need to be wary of. Russian forces. Our forces are making fast advances throughout the division's area of operations, except in the Yeho-Rivka area. Stubborn U.S. forces are holding onto any key locations and terrain they can to slow our advance. Your platoon's mission is to assault and secure the airfield. Russian forces, they're taking over this area. They need the airfield to continue their mission in the divisional AO. Pretty simple mission, and it can play out a couple different ways. U.S. forces getting into position. Looks like Dorf is going to try for a northwest push rather than a southwest push, possibly even a direct north push. That's another viable area to approach from.
No, negative. You're going to have your whole squad with you.
Yeah, another very viable area to push through because they can use this trench line here.
Send one of you guys bump, lock it at 8, so you can. Oh wait, no, you can fit it wrong.
And they can. They'll stay hidden for basically all of it.
East Novo to flank.
No, that's
Against the spirit, yeah.
No, that's where is he? Storm squad. Storm's on the flank.
Okay. Oh, I thought he was in the south.
Storm, I want you staging in East Novo with QRF.
Okay. I was,
Karma's gonna use his MRAPs as QRF.
I was thinking
Novo.
I could take Coyote Ridge.
Coyote Ridge is pretty far out there. For those of you who don't know, Coyote Ridge is the ridge line of K10, L10, and M10. We call it Coyote Ridge because we have an operation called Coyote Ridge that uses this ridge line, and that's sort of how it's stuck. It's a little far out there, in my opinion. It's gonna make the QRF just too slow.
Delayed.
Whereas East Novo, if they dig down to some of these backyards, or dig in some of these backyards, it's going to allow them to be a little more defensive and get into the action that much quicker.
What?
Should boats be in game? I'm not sure if boats should be in game. I'd play it, but I don't know if it's the direction they want to go. I guess it depends on the type of boat. Are you talking like patrol craft or like dinghies and like gunboats and stuff like that? Or are you talking like destroyers and submarines and cruiser, like destroyers and cruisers and things like that? Because I mean, I could see like gunboats being a thing. Gunboats don't sound like something out of the question. Patrol boats, little dinghies and stuff like that wouldn't hurt. But I don't know if that's something they'd be working on right now. I think the next thing they're working on is helicopters.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Yeah, gunboats like what the Navy SEALs use. Yeah, something like the 40mm grenade launcher, just a shit ton of 50 cals or something. See where Karma decides to put down his radio. Last time they put down the radio here, it's a solid position just because it's central of the airfield.
I'm guessing that
and, it gives them the max range.
The MRAP that got dumped all the way to the south.
Yeah. I need always valid on so I can rally.
Oh, somebody quit, so, or not quit, but DC'd. So the MRAP crashed. It also looks like a command tent. Yeah, it's a good point, Payne. It looks like a command tent. It looks like that's where you would put your radio.
Off the Logi, right?
Yes, but they should.
Copy. I'm just checking.
I guess technically it's like a medical station.
Not yet. I'm just collecting an MRAP.
I'll need it back on in a few minutes as well, Revy.
Updated maps have helipads on them, so soon, hopefully. Yeah, it's usually every time they bring out a new map, it has a helipad on it, and every time they update a map, they're adding helipads. So hopefully they can they'll add the helicopter pads soon.
Thanks.
Looks like a platoon tent actually. A full platoon would be in here? I mean, I guess I could see that.
Who gets the lats to the platoon?
A little crowded, maybe.
How are the platoon kits being divvied up?
You could probably fit like 20 people in here. Once you get like 30-ish in here, I feel like it'd get packed.
Evan's gonna get 2 lads.
And in an average platoon, about 30 people, 30-35 people.
And my squad
Well, there would be no room, but you get no sanity. Yeah, I guess that's true. You just get told to go somewhere and deal with it. Looks like we're getting guys spawned in. Everybody's sort of spreading out to their direction that they're going to hold. From my understanding, southwest, northwest, on point, and one QRF in East Novo. Let's see if Karma gathers his guys up to do a platoon brief. Oh, he put the radio inside of the building. Interesting. I mean, it's a pretty solid building, and if he puts himself a couple sandbags in there, it'll be nice and easy to defend.
Okay, my guys, half of them are out of ammo, half of them do have ammo. They're just gonna go resupply at the truck.
Hey, Stretch Look, take out your trouble.
Hey, quiet. Let's hang out.
Hey, how do I get ammo out of the truck?
Alpha Guido getting his guys to spot on the southwest. This is so I think Alpha Guido wants this position just because this is where he assaulted from last time. If you remember, Alpha Guido was the one laying down support fire from up here while his squad tried to push in. So he's pretty familiar with this area, and he wants to hold the southwest corner definitely.
I'm in the ballot on. Sorry, I'm just bringing my trainees.
I wonder what he's going to. Gonna put the tow here, maybe? They don't get any MGs. Oh, let me go over assets. So let's go over the mission and let's go over the assets they have to complete their mission. So the U.S., what they get to hold this airfield, per squad they get 1 squad lead, 2 fire team leads, 2 automatic riflemen, and 1 medic per squad. For the platoon armory, which the platoon lead can deal out as he sees fit, is 4 light anti-tank kits and 1 heavy anti-tank kit. I believe he gave them out 1-to-1. Oh, actually, look, two lats here.
No box.
And 2 lats here. So Evan has 2 lats, and Alpha Guido has 2 lats. Looks like they're gonna go 2 lats on the south, 2 lats on the north. Not a bad call. And they also get 1 heavy anti-tank kit, which has been given to.
There, 240, and also the field.
Let us see. Who's the heavy anti-tank kit? Cosmo Man has the heavy anti-tank kit, so we're gonna look out to him, see if he can do work. The vehicles that are allotted to the EOS are 2 MRAP open tops and 2 logistic trucks with any load, and they can run Logi. Russian assets include per squad 1 SL, 2 FTLs, 2 automatic riflemen, 1 RPG-26, which I believe is the law, and 1 medic. There's no platoon armory, but vehicles, they get 1 BTR-80, 2 MTOB NSVTs, and 1 Logi truck. So those BTR-80s and the MTOB, if they stay alive, I now have to preface that because the vehicles usually are very difficult to deal with. If they stay alive, can be brutal in taking out the U.S. in these entrenched positions. Doesn't look like Karma's gonna hold up hard in the trenches. Looks like he's gonna have a pretty nice scouting force on the southwest. Looks like 2's gonna hold the west. But he's going to leave these trenches here pretty
in the
empty and then
lodge.
harden up in these buildings. That's what it looks like.
Took a little bit of fall damage.
You want me to just brief my guys?
Everybody's running around,
Yeah,
checking
give
out
me
the
your
area.
platoon brief.
Copy that.
No platoon brief? Oh, Carmen's not going to do a platoon brief.
good.
I'm just going to get his guys in order. Figure out where he needs to put them. So, they gave the hat to Cosmoman, and Cosmoman's in the QRF.
Nope.
Which means Karma wants his QRF to be active.
That kinda
And not active as in, I guess active is a good word. He wants them to be actively looking for the Russians, rather than waiting for contact and then reacting to it.
So Charlie's in
So it's maybe not so much a QRF as a wolf pack or just a patrol squad.
Alright, the driver's seat's
to my
open.
left.
Driver's seat's open in this one.
If it's
Storm's pretty good at managing
Hey, we
his
get
vehicles.
lodges, we're just gonna
Hopefully we'll
run
see
one
some good
instead.
stuff out of him.
purple in this one.
Yeah, we only got one logi.
It says in the
Where's our
upper two
driver?
lodges.
Oh, yeah, alright, send the logi
I'm
drivers.
I'm right here.
Hold up.
Hey, are you in the wrong logi?
Yeah, this switched us up for some reason.
Or in the wrong one?
No, I'm the driver of this one, so...
Bum, give me someone who knows how to use the tel.
Let's see where he puts that tail. Oh, this is where he puts that tail.
which is
This
this
is
one
probably
right
the best spot on all of Airfield to put the
No,
tail.
that's,
Okay.
okay, whatever.
Like, it really is. Yeah, good sidelines all the way to the south.
Okay, Bartek is coming to you.
Pretty far to the west. Okay to the north, but it's that southern hold you have with this
Who's
tail.
my driver in this?
That's me.
Mortars down in a similar position.
So we switched.
This is a pretty central area.
I swear this thing's not building.
Well, actually, you weren't even.
There's a liar. It's building. Live time being called?
Hello. Where's the tow?
We live? We're live. Oh, okay. Live in 5 seconds ago. Live time has been called, and we are live. US platoon is getting spread out into its position. Squad 6 on the southwest, Squad 2 on the northwest, Squad 3 on buildings proper, and Squad 1's moving north to head up to hook up and stay in East Novo. Maybe we'll see them push out to Coyote Ridge. Only time will tell. Russian forces moving out, pushing south, fully mounted up. We've got Squad 4 and Squad 3 in an MTLB. Squad 1 and Squad and Command in the Logi. Squad 4 in that MTLB, and Squad 2 in the BTR.
Oh, no, right click now. Actually, I almost messed him. What do you mean?
They get stuck. Oh no. Oh no! They're gonna have to hit it.
Please don't get stuck. Alright.
Thanks, man.
That would have been bad. Shadow, when you get a chance, let us know how you defend airfield as US command. I would probably do something similar to how Dwarf did. I really like a wide defense. I'm a big fan of dispersion over concentrating your forces.
Placements can be built indoors.
Like, I like having my guys spread out. It allows me more time to maneuver guys from less areas that are taking less contact to push them where they need to be. Whereas if my guys are super concentrated in an area, it's got to be a very solid defense, or if it, once it falls, it falls. So whenever they're holding this far west here, like how Dorf had, he was holding this whole trench line. He was super spread out, super dispersed. It allows him to pull back slowly, because he started here where Squad 6 was. I think it was Mr. Moneyman, and he ended up falling back slightly, but he was still holding the south, still holding up these guys pushing. And that's what I'm a big fan of, is just very dispersed forces. But unlike Dwarf, I wouldn't have had these guys on the south. It would be a mixture. I would have this dispersed hold, and then a QRF force similar to this. I wouldn't hold these buildings on the east. I don't like them now that they've gotten rid of the, if you remember the old Rivka, they had the apartment buildings with a lot of good windows looking north and west. Here I feel you're just going to get stuck in these buildings if you get shot at. Like this one, yeah, 100% you're not holding. You shouldn't hold. This building, like, what's the good sightlines? I don't really like the sightlines on these, like, buildings. Maybe use the trenches and whatnot to your advantage. It's not bad. And this building's probably okay. This building would be the only building I would harden up in. Those other buildings are a bait, in my opinion. And the trenches have done a lot for the U.S. The U.S. used to get completely destroyed in this operation. Just get run over by the BTR-80 almost every single time. Now the U.S. actually have a fighting chance, especially with that tow missile, to really hold off the Russians, as you saw last round. Is U.S. allowed to leave the perimeter and look for the Russians, and how far can they go? They are allowed to leave once live is called. If you see, we actually have a QRF force out on the northeast. Squad 1 here, Storm leading 2 of the MRAPs, holding up far out, waiting for the Russians to push in, or either waiting for the Russians to push in and commit before swinging in on flank, or we might see them go out and actively hunting for the Russians. It depends on how ambitious Storm gets.
Yeah, right.
Anyone else here to check? That was my watch. Sorry. Let me mute it.
And west, and then remember that blind spot on the north, copy.
Yeah, I got a message and it came through my watch.
Bump, I want your binocs on the east and south.
It's gonna hang out.
Copy.
This is dope right here, man.
That's a good opportunity to react. I don't remember where I heard it, but somebody described it was like disperse your guys, like I forget the example given, or consolidate your guys, and you have the potential to end up with something like a Pearl Harbor. And that always really just stuck with me of when it comes to like tactics like that. Like you can either disperse and you have the safety of space between you and the ability to maneuver, or you can consolidate your guys, and yes, you will have a stronger force on a specific point, but it also means you are more susceptible to an attack at that specific point.
Spread out down the trench a little bit. Alright, I'll head down to the end.
Good opportunity to wreck. Yeah, MRAP's on the outside. It's a little far out for my liking, but I understand why he wants to go out here. They're almost definitely gonna, if they're gonna come in from the north, they're almost definitely gonna come through East Novo.
Yo, wait. You're supposed to have grabbed the second logic with Vindication and Senpai was supposed to drop off, right? I don't know what's happening. Hold on.
You guys are looking north, looks like. Looking north.
Hey, tell him we need that ammo now. Tell Vindication to drop the ammo off now, Senpai to walk. Bumpy, copy? Solid copy.
I'm not gonna see much here, it looks like.
Vindication to hold the vehicle.
I like how far
close to the airstrip.
Dwarf parked from Novo before pushing in. He didn't just push into Novo and dismount on the edge, because he knows they have the potential to be there already. And so parking far out, getting eyes on, very safe, very, very safe, and I like that. And that's gonna be an okay push on the south, or okay push on the north, moving south. MRAPs and BTR and the 2 M2Bs continuing south to probably moving from the direct west or possibly the southwest, as we saw last time. Let's go check out building spots. Or let's go check out how the buildings have turned out for the U.S. Where are they expecting most of their contact to come from? They've got a lot of barbed wire here, which I think this is natural barbed wire. I think this is part of the game. Spot in here. They're waiting for their Logi runs, I think. Yeah, they got a couple sandbags here. This is the only real... They don't need too many sandbags here. They also don't need as many people in here as they have. You only need maybe 2 people in this building. But to be fair, I don't know where else they would go. The trenches. That's where they would go. Just hang out in the trenches. You got plenty of ways to move up and down. A tank blockades of a mod? No, this is naturally put here from OWL.
Where should I roll it?
Me.
Two in the north.
Yeah, or scenery put in here by the OWL. This is part of the map.
Just get that
Map assets, I think. What
hold
they're called.
about 1,000 ammo in it and pull it next to like your building. Okay.
No, where else have they put? I guess they put a lot of their building into just right off the bat, getting their mortar and their toes back up.
Towards him on the main road.
I would have sold from the northeast. The northeast is good if you can get your MTLBs. I mean, yeah, if you can get your MTLBs and your BTRs to lay down solid fire, the northeast can work, especially since they're not guarding these buildings. You can get in through these trench lines. But if they get caught out by mortars, there's not a lot of cover for them. They just need to keep moving and hope that Karma doesn't push any guys on his field.
What happened there?
Oh, we misunderstood. My bad. Yeah, misunderstanding, it appears.
We have enough for one toe shot.
They need to do another run. They need to get these toes up and going. They need ammo. They got plenty of build now.
Give me full
Oh, it's one of the layers of the map. Yeah, musket. It's one of the layers of the map. You can do a lot of neat things in the
500 ammo from those guys that resupplied, apparently.
but you can do a lot of things in the SDK. Like I've seen Pony just do, like he's working on a map like every other day. I feel like, and just the stuff he's able to do
Logi driver apparently hears
is
tracks.
just
He thinks he hears tracks.
crazy.
Stand by for direction.
Logi driver thinks he hears tracks. Vindication's calling he hears tracks. I mean, that's got to be some ears, man. That's over like 2 kilometers away.
Or west of his paws. Sound like the way we came.
1,500 meters away, so a kilometer and a half away about. Oh. Just waiting for the Russians to get into position. First few minutes of an operation is always jockeying for position, trying to figure out the best angle to come in at. Let's go ahead and fly over, check out the northern element of Squad 1 and Command. Vehicles look like they're moving into position. They're a few minutes out, though. Those MTOBs are not fast. I didn't know they put trenches in East Novo, too. Huh. Neat. Can Storm spot this northern approach? No way he spots the strikes. Yeah, Payne, I think he's just paranoid. There's no way he spots he hears those strikes. Can Storm spot from the north, though? Let's check it out. Let's see. Where's Storm? Let's see who would spot these guys on the north.
Plan for at least my fire team down here in the south.
Silas, Stalker, Mr. Coleman. Those guys would possibly be the guys who spot these the ones on the north. And what do their sight lines look like? Check.
Hit him in the ass. I also got a hunk of
maybe
sitting in the northernmost
a possibility that they can get spotted. If they get to the edge of the town, I think they would definitely get spotted. But if you look, oh, Storm, yeah, you're right. I went to look south. I went to Evans. You're right. I'll go check that out. But these guys on the north, Silas, if Squad 1 pushes south, they'll definitely get spotted. Let's go check. I don't know. 100% Storm's not going to spot them here on the west, because there's this farmhouses and whatnot on the east side of East Novo, and then he's pretty deep into the woods of Coyote Ridge. No way he's gonna spot them. He's more concerned about a northern push or a northeastern push, preventing them from using this road here. Look at the sight lines he's got.
You're building up defense, right?
A-firm. You want him outside, you just build a little sandbag fort inside.
Too far out.
Okay. Yeah, just play a layered defense. Hold the outside for as long as possible. Then once you start getting overrun, pull it back before you lose the buildings. And then
still not a lot of movement from the Russians. This Russian element, it's all come down to these guys as they get in the trenches. It looks like. Let's go fly over and check that out. Where are they? There they are. They're gonna get into the trench lines and start to push east. Actually, they dismounted. Okay. They are gonna be extra sure that they are not heard. That guy's dismounting and starting to push east here. Yeah, they dismounted a good 900 meters away from their objective. Make sure they're walking in. They're getting closer. Squad 3 probably dismounted a little too far away, in my opinion. Looks like they started to walk back from here. But it looks like they were ones in the MTOBs. They want the MTOBs to stay sort of here. It's not a trench line. It looks like a trench line on the map to me, but it's a tree line.
Yo. What's up?
I heard somebody call for it.
Oh. Someone call for admin? Hold on.
Bar is on point here, getting his fire team lead.
Command,
yeah, getting his fire team moving.
Tracks to my west/northwest. It was very faint. It's not 100%. Just giving the call out.
Check those blind spots. Just make sure you got eyes on the blind spot.
Hey, firm, we got that covered right now.
Yeah, Mike's here on motor as well.
Copy. We got eyes on infantry on the west, to the west of Squad 2 in the tree line.
Give me a mark, or give me a...
Okay, let's see Squad 4 here.
Wait, what?
Who they've spotted. I'm gonna go check out Alpha Guido. Where is he spotting these guys from? Of course he's gonna be in this little tower. I don't even know why I have to fly over here to see this.
Roughly,
but it's a great spot to spot from.
If they keep going that way, they're gonna get into the ground, and they'll be really easy to pick them off.
Yeah, feel free to engage if you have to. Keep their heads down. Let them know we say them.
You want to go now? Yeah.
Copy, Brenda.
Yeah, you're...
Nice fire from Jacko 800.
Bearing it up a little bit. A little low. There you go. 600 meters up.
What's that strength?
There you go. Laying fire down on the sled B and Reagan 2.
Roughly 1386. What's the strength? 89. It's over there right now.
Let's check. Gulf 1386. Good call out.
Give me BDA for mortars.
He saw which direction they run. Okay, I was like, he knew which direction they ran. He's still firing where their old position was. Like I thought he saw them moving right. Mortars on target.
On the northern side of that berm.
Give me a BDA for mortars.
Shift it right. Shift your mortars right. So north.
How many meters?
20 meters. 20 meters.
Too little, too late.
They also have eyes on BTR to the west as well, accompanying that squad currently.
Okay, Roger.
You can totally hear that the MTLB from here. I thought I heard it. I thought it was swinging around behind us. Yeah, no, you can totally hear the BTR from here. That's crazy. That sound travels.
Oh.
No cover. Yeah, those guys got cut out with no cover. We'll just watch this from Alpha Guido's POV. Watch him guiding these mortars. The guiding in has been pretty okay.
Good mortars. Your second mortar fired was
It's moving northwest.
I've got widespread going. It's just gonna be.
And it's the second one over the hill.
Nice mortars, almost on top of Dentrick there.
Give me ammo all day.
Mortar the.
Yeah, copy. My driver just couldn't figure out how to do lodges. I don't know what's. I'm gonna replace him when he gets back here.
BTR is starting to fire.
MTLBs to the west. All 3 are west.
Yeah, MTLBs are engaging our windows here at the top area.
MTLB is pushing up. Staying well out of range of the tow. Well, actually, it's not well out of range. That tow has a gigantic range, but he's still staying out of the firing arc of the tow, is what I should say. If we look, I'm going to zoom in on the tow. I actually have to fly up and look left. Where is it? I lost it. No, there it is. There's the tow. Straight ahead. And I'm going to go down to this guy's level. It's just not in the arc. Not possible for them to engage with that tow. Bartok Warrior is trying though. Mortars just, or MTLBs and the BTR just laying down fire onto the vehicles and whatnot. Let's check out QRF. Moving yet? It's not. They are mounted up. Look at them. They're mounted up. They're getting ready. I like the fire from these guys. The mortars are shifted in an awkward direction. I need to see these corrected, or I'd like to see these corrected.
Contact north. They're in East Novo. They're in East Novo.
Roger. Contact north and east.
Good movement on this this BTR and infantry. Looks like Zabari's in the lead. Hook 'em KJ X 500.
Break. Just mortars to Gulf 13-9.
That's how you use the VIX. Yeah, they had them very like they're very far off. Just laying down fires.
Grid.
Yeah, that's how you should they should be using the VIX. Just far off, just supporting, keeping heads down, not necessarily getting kills, just keeping heads down. Shots on these guys in the north, getting shots out of squads 1. They don't. I don't think they know that squad 2 and 3 are here.
To overwatch the north side of airfield as best you can.
So this is gonna be a pretty. It's got to be a very quick assault because this is where their cover is gone. They got a little bit further they can go, but if they want to push in from this angle, their cover's about done. Actually, looks like they've been spotted. Beware, Alex 5000 and Dick's folks spotted by looks like Todd Colville and Todd Colville.
Bump, I need your eyes straight south and he's hardcore right
Todd
now.
Colville gets shot at by Beware. BTR's pushing up, laying fire down on the west. I think that I feel like these vehicles are being very conscious about where they're positioning themselves because look, every single spot they're positioning themselves is out of that arc of the tow. Look, Bartok Warrior is trying so hard. He's trying so hard to see these vehicles, but he just can't.
Pushing third,
Jacko 800 has gone down. Update on kills. 1 kill for the US, 1 kill for the Russians. All this firing and there's only been 1 shot so far.
Copy that.
Hopefully Guido's not peeking up that anytime soon.
Moving into position.
Hook'em's actually gotten really close. Way to keep up the aggression, Hook'em. Get underneath that BTR fire and just keep pushing. That BTR is not going to kill you if he knows what he's doing. Keep moving, keep moving. Squad 1 is actually pushing into. This is a very well-timed assault here. He's got 3 squads online, ready to assault at once. Very good assault. A very well-timed assault. The assault's not started yet, so we don't know if it's good. A very well-timed assault. Looks like 1 goes down from the north. Milkshake takes out Zabari. Unfortunate. I said the BTR wouldn't kill him if they pushed, and the BTR kills him when they pushed. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Copy that. 1 moving in.
Frag almost takes out 3.
Yeah, 1 flank these guys on the north.
Drake, Dick's folk, Herd, Knox gonna need to bandage. Beware, Hook'em can keep pushing. Todd Colville is dead. They can push in. Let's see where these mortars land.
Small trend.
Bump, maintain east and south security.
Mr. Coleman gets taken out by a grenade. Let's see where these mortars land.
They're close and then.
Hey, tell Strangelove that's enough. Tell Strangelove that's enough. Tell him to dismount and rejoin you.
Mortars, brutal mortars. Just spread that out. Spread that out.
Vindication, only 1
Oh,
running,
this could hurt. They're pushing now. They know. They gotta stay under the mortars. They gotta keep moving. That's the aggression you need to see. Right there. You see that? The mortar started landing. I don't want to stay here anymore. Fuck that. I'm gonna move. The Russians had a big problem with that last time. They got clumped up, they got scared of the mortars, and they were afraid to move. The mortars hit, and they pushed. Look at that. 5 guys in the trench. A little clumped up for my taste. But that's the aggression I like to see from these Russians as they push into the airfield. Look at that, and they've also pushed in here, too. Oh my god, the timing. The timing. Silas, Evan SMA, and the Goon forced to fall back. Hero and a face-off with Clay J here in the CQB trench warfare.
Alright, wait for him.
Oh, that's not Hero, that's Fiber.
I
don't know why that looks like Hero for some reason.
Copy that.
He's pushing.
Two BDA on mortar.
Mortars, not that. Well, I mean, they're on target where they need to be, but or where they were. Mortars are just moving too slowly. That's all. The calls are right, the positions are right, but good mortars pushed onto good grenades onto Silas and Lagoon.
Yeah, copy. At the moment we're cut off by the road. This contact's suppressing us from the north.
how many ops do you need to consistently play in to get a reg tag? There's no specific number. Like, there's no magic number of like 50 ops or 25 ops or whatever. It's just show up, be active, get people to know your name, you know, play games with us. You don't need to just play squad with it. Like, be a regular part of the community. We also have a regular interest form in our README if you're interested in becoming a regular. It doesn't necessarily mean you will become a regular when you fill out that form. It just sort of lets the representation team sort of puts you on their radar as somebody they need to look out for as a potential regular.
Guido, give me a sit rep. Did you see anything?
But there's no like magic number or anything like that. Line beam pushing up into Silas. Silas, report this. It wasn't reported. He tried to fight it out. I would have hid and reported it and then tried to fight it out.
From your position,
Goons.
give me a sit rep on what's happening north on the airfield. Squad 1, straight northwest to you. Contacts in the open, straight northwest to you.
Medic goes down.
Just across the
Goon
road.
goes down.
Down west of my current southern fire team. They're coming in on that western approach right now.
Very brutal push for the Russians right now. 11 kills for the US, 8 kills for the Russians, keeping it close. Keeping it close. I feel like the Russians are on the upper hand. They have the upper hand just because of how aggressive they've been. But this northern push just got destroyed. Looks like acid has gone down. A lot of guys here on this northern push. Yeah, this northern push. I don't like this approach here. I don't know why he tried to come in from this angle, from where Cardboard, Verts, and Silent are. I guess they were just following the Death Blade and trying to get around that way. But like, there's a perfectly good trench right here that they could have used to push in for.
Could use mortar barrage on that.
What was that? What exploded? Looks like the MTLB gets hit. MTLB may burn here. Quick scratch and Groot gonna just get out. Ditch it. Mortar's done its job. Hook'em's gone down. Fiber's holding them off. Fiber, Baku, and Fulcrum holding them off. Toe hits the MTLB. MTLB down. Maybe getting a little too aggressive with these vehicles now. You're giving Bartok Warrior an opening. 15 kills for the US, 9 kills for the Russians. It is just a brutal CQB trench style combat.
Adjust mortar fire to my north.
The attackers are destroying those one-on-one fights, so yeah, the attackers are doing a great job keeping up the aggression, especially in these trench lines, as we watch them just push. Alex 5000, very afraid to keep peeking.
Infantry on that position.
They keep coming in from the Russian POV. I need to swing around so we can hear the US comms.
Ammo back, some mates.
No, we can't. We can't. Don't rearm.
They can rearm. They can rearm.
You're not allowed to rearm.
They are allowed to rearm.
They're pushing trench toward the toe position.
Fiber goes down.
Bob, I need you in the window split covering us down.
Alex goes down. Alex takes out Fiber. Baku takes out Alex. Update on kills: 21 for the US, 13 for the Russians.
Man, I have no visual.
Let's check out what happened to Storm. Where is this QRF? Has this QRF done much? I miss Storm dying. I miss this Eastern approach dying. That's unfortunate. But it looks like they're just standing off. What are they doing? They need to do. Looks like they're just afraid to commit in a direction. It's awkward. This is an. Oh, look at these mortars. Look at these mortars. Look at those mortars. Boogeyman goes down. Mortars have taken out a couple in there. Look, Hero's on mortars. Let's see. Where you at, Hero? Hero's got 5 with the mortars. Mortars have just been brutal for this, both rounds. Hero may, or Warface may bleed out. How much more ammo does he have? Plenty. 1,800 ammo. Plenty of ammo. I feel like the Eastern element pushed way too early. They should have waited until the others cleared out the end of the trenches. I can agree with that. The Western push here. Copy that. I still got. The Western push here was perfect, I think. From these two squads that pushed into these trenches. Then this Northern element pushed in and ended up here. They pushed here, and then tried here maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Hindsight is 20/20.
BTR. No.
Muffin Man is just on top of this MTLB.
North. India 12 at 5, BTR.
Oh, Alpha Guido's got a good little crossfire. They forgot about him finally. He's just been thrown up here, hiding, and now he's got a really good position. Oh, they see him. They totally see him. Sled V sees him at least. I want to hear Alpha Guido give a little bit more contact report, but U.S. looks like they're pushing in on this this MTLB from a couple different sides. Atomic Peach getting his guys to keep pushing. Potentially? No, it looks like they're content holding what they got. It's stuck here. Sled V shooting at Alpha Guido over there on the north. Quick scratch. Dwarf trying to hold this northern, or trying to make a push here on the north.
1226. I say again, India 1226.
Wow. Are those mortars all for silent? Those mortars are for silent. What did you do to them, Silent? Why are you drawing so much attention? I think the attackers need mortars next time. I think the attackers maybe need... The thing with attacking mortars, or attackers having mortars, is the fact that it's a fixed position. So it's easy to calc things in. I mean, mortar calculators are allowed, but it's easy to get things exactly where you need them, and to lay down fire and just destroy anybody in those trenches, which means they basically have to only hold doorway or only hold buildings and things like that. But I could agree with like smoke mortars, some kind of smokes to make traveling through the open a little bit better. That could be an option. Maybe some GLs. Some GLs might be. I think actually, maybe a GL. Maybe 2 GLs for the platoon army for those Russians to help clear out from a distance with some indirect fire, because they do have the 300 meter high angle GL that they can use. So maybe, but the Russians don't look like they're struggling as bad. Like 19 kills for the Russians, 28 for the U.S. Dark Milkshake has finally pushed into aggressively to the center of this compound. Let's see. Oh, Storm's still alive. Where's the MRAPs? Where are the MRAPs? There they are. Too bad that's a dead MTLB. That MTLB has no turret. A decent waste of ammo. And they missed their lat shot, but it's still a dead MTLB. That MTLB is dead. You're just shooting at a hull. Look at the.
You think it's abandoned?
It's dead.
Yeah, it's abandoned. That's 100% true.
It didn't get called out. It should have been called out. So it's...
Damn.
That MTLB is dead. So, and I think they fired a hat on them too. Navy's playing scared as fuck. Yeah, I agree. The MTLBs are being the MRAPs are very cautious when they don't. I don't think they need to be. Dark Milkshake and Bybee. Let's get an update on counts. We've got 29 kills for the U.S., 22 for the Russians. I count.
1317 is a stuck MTLB. If your MRAPs look direct south, they should be able to see it. Copy that. We're working
about 14 U.S. versus.
Copy. I was sure the BTR was down.
4 Russians plus 5.
It's about meters to my southwest.
4 or 5 Russians versus about 14 U.S. But the Russians do have these vehicles. Looks like Quick-Scratch's gonna try and push in solo cap this. Let's go, Quick-Scratch. Can you do it? Can you push in here? I also got to try and keep an eye on the MTLBs as he faces off with the MRAPs. MRAPs look like they're pushing off in the distance. Let's watch Quick-Scratch here try and face off with Strangelove. And goes down to Strangelove. Strangelove just set there his automatic rifle set up. It's just an easy shot for him with that laser beam of a rifle. Dwarf and Groot trying to push up to the objective. Not going to have too much luck. Dark Milkshake and Bybee in the MTLB. Atomic Peach going to try see what he can do. But he's just a fire team lead. I think he's just a rifleman. No, he's a lat. I don't know if he has a lat left. We'll see if he pulls it out.
One, the BTR is currently watching your MRAPs right now.
Chase the BTR. That's the thing, is they gotta chase the BTR, but the opportunity might be lost. Let's follow.
Okay, one, the MTOB is now getting unstuck. The MTOB has kind of got itself unstuck. It can engage your
It's a one-man MTOB. That's, meh. This is the thing they've got to worry about. Alright, the MTOBs or the BTRs lost sight of those MRAPs.
This is Squad 1.
We'll see if they can sneak back up on this thing.
What do you want me to do with them?
Fuck, it's just me left. Alright.
To be honest, my old unit's SOP would have been to drive the armor straight into the compound and hope chaos tips into our favor. I mean, it is an option. Is it a good option? Probably not, but it is an option. Dark Marchik sees Atomic. They may be able to.
BTR is currently sitting at roughly India 1389. You should be able to come around and
just waiting to engage here.
Copy that.
Be advised, there is an MTOB to my direct north. It can engage you from there, so you're gonna have to be quick with this BTR.
Doesn't look like much else is gonna happen. Where did Grudendorf go? Did Grudendorf die too? Where are they? Atomic Peach goes down to the MTOB. He tried. He really tried. That was good. Solid attempt. Where did I think Dwarf and Groot went down? Looks like they have. It's just the two BTRs left and the one MTLB.
Just north of the Yeho airfield symbol on the map. Yeah, and its ass will be facing you.
Alright, let's follow this squad 1 push in. Alright, can they acquire the target fast enough? Is the question.
Wait. Right behind.
They see it.
Eyes on. Hold.
Nice. Keep up the fire. Keep it up. No,
he's turning his front.
No, why retreat? What is going on? Why retreat? It's almost dead. Oh, it died. Okay, cool. I guess it burnt out. Good. BTR is down. MRAP's the only thing, or MTOB is the only thing left, as well as Omar RP. Good push and good ambush by the MRAPs. Finally getting in this fight and able to get a nice little flank off. They're gonna try and swing around here and get onto this MTOB side. The infantry can dismount fast enough and take a hold of the immediate area. The shock of the whole thing can work out. Yeah, the shock of the thing can work out, but also, you know, two good grenades can wipe the whole team. It's a risk versus reward kind of thing you got to think about. You gotta hope the AT misses the shot, right? Let's see. Can these guys get onto the side of the MRAP or the MTLB? Maybe. I don't think they see it. I don't think they know where the MRAP is, or the MTLB. Alpha Guido was the one given the information, and he is dead. 35 for the U.S., 27 for the Russians. Down to 1. Down to Omar. Out of the MTLB and pushing the trench. Can he do it? Get a count on US. They've got 4 in the MRAPs for sure, and then 4, 5 in this compound. So 9 versus 1. 1 versus a full squad. See? Can he clear these guys out? These buildings are going to be so difficult to clear out. Look at this. You peek this corner, you've got 4 different guns pointed at you. And they've got Code John here facing north.
Hey, yo, squad 1 guy, could you ask him, one of your guys to drop off an extra 3rd guy? If you have any extra people, could you drop them off?
Oh, somebody got spotted on the north.
No, it's fine.
Who's this? Am I missing somebody? Okay, he got spotted by these guys. Hope he has nades, right? I don't think he's gonna be able to pop nades. He's gonna try and pop smoke, but he went prone in the middle of an airfield. Oh, that's it. He gets domed by Senpai, looks like. So, Russians didn't manage to clear out the airfield. The MTLB is too strong, and but it made it a fight. 36 kills for the U.S., 27 for the Russians.
Good job.
Very, very tough hold for the U.S. 5 kills with those mortars. Mortars were just brutal, both rounds. Good job for the U.S. both rounds. Both teams did a great job holding it out. A lot of fun to watch.
Bro, I got a kill, dude.
We will be having another round in a couple hours, guys. If you're interested in participating in these events, check us out. SquadOps.gg. All you have to do is take our basic training course. After you take the basic training, only about 45 minutes to an hour long, you can then participate in any and all of our operations. If you enjoyed what you saw and you want to give us a follow at twitch.tv/SquadOps, we would really appreciate it. We also upload our videos onto youtube.com/SquadOps. I was your commentator for this evening's ShadowedRitual, and thank you all for watching. We couldn't put these events on without those of you participating and those of you watching. We wouldn't be doing the stream if you weren't watching. So thank you, everybody, and we will catch you in just a couple hours for another round of Squad Ops action.